roadies. Well, that was the view outside my room. Yes, I'm in Sisters, Oregon, and so this segment of Quilt Roadies is going to be a little bit different than previous ones, in that I'm going to be doing segments, kind of like a vlog, and so just to give you snippets of the entire week in a video, and then we'll have a separate one for the quilt show and probably a separate one for the Princess Di exhibit. So stay tuned and come along with me and put it on your bucket list for 2023. So Monday's Sit and Stitch is made up of some old and new stitchers that have been to Quilters Affair, or this is their first time, and they brought a variety of projects. So some people are piecing, some people are cross-stitching, and some people are tacking binding down with a gazillion little clips. So I'll take you around and we'll just look at the projects. So take a look at this table for this featherweight. It matches perfectly. Oh my gosh, there's such a reflection on it. It is so shiny, and it came with its own carrying case from Montevilla Sewing Center in Beaverton. So for those of you that have to have the perfect accessory for your featherweight, here it is. Oh.
It sounds like mine. That's just a little digital. Isn't that cute?
Want to smile and say hi?
So glad.
And look at that case. How awesome is that? Buttermilk basin.
Yes, lots of buttermilk. We're close to that area, and we had our 25th anniversary from graduating from high school at that park. Like I said, similar to, it kind of reminds me of Washington's big hall, but it's not as keep on going.
Yeah. Oh, and look at, you've got your
last, oh yeah, my Sue Spargo.
yeah. Oh, and I gotta look up that pattern.
This one? Yeah, the pattern's there.
Well, day one is a wrap, and I thought I'd give you a synopsis of what went on at day one for me at Quilters Affair. It was extraordinary in so many ways, in that we've all experienced the last 2+ years, and to be together in a class, although it was different than before in terms of volume. There were less students, but the people that came were so happy to be there again, and it just kind of fills your heart. So today was Sit and Stitch, which means that all of the students, not really students, that signed up for Sit and Stitch brought their own projects, and you could, my only responsibility was to manage the room, to give my opinion, to entertain, and to inspire and be inspired. And so that all happened. It all happened for me. The people that came were so amazing. All of their projects and their variety you saw in the video, the different things that people were working on, it was across the board. There were some people that were piecing, some people that were cross-stitching, some people that were wool stitching, some embroidery. So it was all across the board. And everybody is supportive of each other. And the thing about Sit and Stitch is that a lot of people are repeat. They love the opportunity to come to Quilters Affair and just sit and stitch on UFOs or whips and feel accomplished, but be able to share. And there was so much sharing going on in the room. I mean, from enabling shopping opinions, it was really, I can't tell you, this first day, I can't even imagine it getting better each day, but it must. So I thought I would share with you just a little bit of kindness that I received, which was just amazing, amazing. So one of the students made this absolutely adorable. It's that because I don't do it, I don't have the words for it, but it's like crafting where they stitch, or they paper crafts, and they make collages. If you ever want to see a lot of that done, you might go on Instagram, and I'll list in the drop-down boxes a couple of, a handful of people that do this kind of work. But this is just a sweet little collage. Look at, my name is even on there, and I have a star, because after all, at least in that classroom I was a star, to clip onto my journal. Isn't that cute? I've never done this kind of crafting, so I so appreciate it. And then I received this adorable fabric, What's Not to Love, and there was a towel made. It's reversible, and look at, I already got something on it. So I gotta wash it. Isn't that cute? Oh, the chocolate that was in there, I just realized the chocolate melted in there. Yeah, it sure did. It melted all over. I gotta, oh, thank goodness it didn't get on my other stuff. This towel I can wash. A couple of cross-stitch charts, which, if these are duplicates, it totally cracks me up. Then I'll do a future giveaway on my Floss Tube channel. And I'm pretty sure that I have this one, so for sure that will be. And wait till you see this. Are you ready? Enzo. Look at him. Look at his little tail out his pants. Now, I didn't ask anybody if I could mention their names, so please email me your mailing address. You know who you are. And I'll put my email address in the drop-down box. Isn't he absolutely adorable? I mean, he's got a little purse. And she told me that this is the book that she got this pattern out of. If any of you are knitters and want to know about that. My girlfriend knitted me two little, one's a scrubby, see, it's got the scrubby things, and then the other, G and I share these, and we absolutely love them. I tell you, I was just like, and look at this adorable card. Isn't that cute? A topiary. So this was filled with all kinds of fun things. So, package of napkins for our time on the back patio. And this, I've not used one of these, but I am excited about this. It is a food wrap. It's reusable sandwich wrap. It's sustainable food storage. Isn't that the coolest? It's so cool. And let's see, what else have we got here? Here's a label. It says, made with love, wine, and minimal swearing. Quilt label. Isn't that awesome? A tea towel with our signature queen bee. And then some bee charms and bee ribbon. I tell you, I felt totally blessed. And so I really, you know who y'all are. My email address will be in the drop-down box, so please send me your mailing address. I'm all about the thank you cards. Okay. I didn't realize, because I was cross-stitching last night and I lost my needle 3 times. Yeah, in a motel. Not a good thing. And so I realized, oh wait, Jean Wells, the queen of Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show, had made each of the instructors a pincushion, and this was my pincushion. So it has already been put to good use. My postcard that I made for the show sold. So exciting. And then I bought, I mean, people donated cards. This is for Wish Upon a Card fundraiser. And so there were a lot of postcards that were made where you could buy. Some were matted already for $25 a card. And then there was this whole rack where you could buy 3 cards for $25. I was like, oh my gosh. So I picked out 3 cards, and this one is made from somebody in practically my backyard, Kathy in Beaverton. Isn't that adorable? And then I had to get these 2 cards because the story is so amazing. Barb, who lives in Rochester Hill, Michigan, created over 100 postcards for the Wish Upon a Card Foundation. And so, I mean, it was so sweet and generous, kind of way appreciated. And so I picked up 2 of her cards. And this card has beading, and this card has a lot of beautiful ribbon. Isn't that amazing? And the thing about these cards is that you can actually send them in the mail, but nowadays I would probably, especially the one with beading on it, if I was going to send this to someone and I was actually going to use a micron pen to write on there a message to them, I would put it in an envelope and have it stamped because I wouldn't want the postcard to get ruined. So I picked up 3 postcards. Well, that was a full day, and I am gonna fall into bed tonight. I can just feel it. It's like, wow, that first day is always like you're trying to figure out how you navigate, and yeah, so it was a great day. It was a great day. Thank you so much. So another segment coming up on this video. We'll see tomorrow at the Quilters Affair. Hello, Quilt Roadies. Well, today, day 2 is finished at the Quilters Affair. It was an amazing day. Every day is an amazing day. more teachers had come in and more students had come in, so it was a lot busier today than yesterday. And I have to say, there's something truly soul-filling to be able to be in person at this event. So if you have it on your bucket list, you can make it happen. You can make it happen. So today what I was teaching, I had brought my Yazzie bag that was decorated, embellished. This was my whole project for today, fit in this little adorable Yazzie bag. And today's class that I was teaching was about wool, a basic wool class. And I was using the Buttermilk Basin's welcome mat. So this is the project that the students were working on today. And I made a sample. I did some, taught some stitches. So here's the project. Isn't it adorable? It's just adorable. The thing about wool class at Quilters Affair is that you're going to go home feeling like this isn't a UFO. You can see the possibilities. You can see the possibilities. And every student had their project prepped, and 3/4 were already well into the stitching of it. And so we could talk about how to do different stitches. I also like to allow them to express themselves, because each project, the way I approach it is I like to make it seem more my own. Even though I'm not the designer, I like to give it a little zing. So like in this case, I could put actual pins in this pin cushion rather than stitch pins. Or if you wanted to put in that spool there, you could put your family name. You could embroider your family name. I'm applying antique buttons to mine. It's just a way to take a pattern and create your own. Create a little bit of yourself into it. And so in my Yazzie bag I had my pencil, my needle book, and all the thread that I would use, and the pattern. And so that was, and the class, everyone was just lovely. Absolutely lovely. They introduced themselves, where they were from. We got to hear a little bit, a couple of them were brand new. A few of them were brand new wool virgins, yeah. And I really got the feeling that it was not going to be their last wool project, because truly, hand stitching wool is so relaxing. Especially in those primitive patterns. It's just very relaxing. And it looked like everybody was having a great time. It was nice to have lunch today. I had lunch with some of the teachers, plus Chris, who is As the U Flies on Instagram and Etsy, and then one of my fabric stalker girlfriends, Lori, had lunch with us. It was awesome. It was just really, really nice to have that little downtime in the middle of the day. Of course, they have a shop set up at the high school where the classes are being held. And I had to do a little shopping because Jackie Erickson, who is the featured quilter for this year's show, and you'll hear more from her during the show, was demoing her wallets, how she makes these adorable wallets, but also a couple of tools. And yeah, I had to have them. I had to have them. So this tool here, so you keep it on your list, is called a Blade Saver Thread Cutter. And how cool is this? So it comes like in this little, it looks like a little macaroon. They look like little macaroons piled on the table. you take an old rotary blade, like the kind you're throwing away, and you actually insert it in the center. You unscrew that part and you insert the blade in the center of this, because it comes apart. And then once the blade's inserted, you stick it in the stand. Do you see where we're going with this? Then when you're chain piecing, when you're doing a lot of piecing, like someone in my sit and stitch yesterday was sewing 1-inch squares, like hundreds of 1-inch squares together, all you have to do is to, cut the thread by hitting it through that to the blade. And it's adorable. It's adorable. You're using an old rotary blade and you got something cute, and it's another tool. What a tool. Yeah. The other thing that Jackie showed me, which I love, is that I've always liked the Omnigrid mats, but this mat is a game changer. So let's see if I can get this to work. So this is what it looks like. And it is called the Rotary Cutting Mat. So it's circular. It has all of these indentations around it for your finger, because this mat is going to sit on your table, and then as you're cutting, you can turn your square around without moving it. So your piece that you want to trim up, you just put your finger in there and you move it around. Anything to make piecing easier. It has a foam back that kind of suctions to the table, so when you lift it off of your counter, you have to just give it a little gentle tug. But isn't that cool? You don't have to move your stitching, your piece, you just move the mat. I just thought it was great. This is part of what I love about going to these workshops and to quilt shows, is that you get to see what's new coming down the line. Yeah. So there was lots of talk amongst the teachers as we sat for lunch about the changes that COVID has brought us in our industry and how we teach and how we manage. It was nice to know that you're not alone. It just was really sweet. This evening this is Tuesday evening, so Jean Wells has all of the teachers over to her home, and her home is absolutely gorgeous. The view of the mountains is spectacular, and so we're all going to gather there for a buffet dinner and just relax and talk with each other, and then we're back at it again tomorrow. So I'll be sharing that with you too. So thank you for stopping by. Stay tuned for part 3. Hi, Sue. Yeah, I know. He tells me that all the time. Luckily, I can talk all I want, and you can't too because he puts music over the top of all the voices. Yeah. Keep all your fingers up, Pauline. I'll let your audience know this about me. I get it. Come on, come on. These are your children. Good at it. These are your children.
Yes, they are my children. I hope that I'm gonna try this. No, you. Yeah, Julie. All right, Julie. I got more now. I have no knob on the end of my nose. Anyway, and next to us here is Diane. If you haven't met Diane yet, Diane is the head of education at Precision Coast. She fell into this role with Quilters Affair
I'm not sewing yet. So you don't have to add if you don't want to.
You're cutting, huh?
Yes. Because I have to sew my stupid bear's eyes on and heart on. Just.
Look at how cute that is. Oh, I love the purple pumpkin. It's going to be exciting for a lot of people that there's cross stitch going on here. Yeah.
Quilting's Friday.
Well, I'll put your face in there, because.
Oh. I'm stitching on wool.
It's a tag team, huh? Stand together and smile. Smile, smile. Some people bring a helper, which makes twice as much get done, right?
Or half as much.
That's right, either.
Mama's boy. Mama's boy. This is really turning out fabulous, huh?
Thank you. It's supposed to be scrappy.
It does.
I do like her stuff.
Yeah, I love her stuff. And she's so nice, too.
Yes.
Oh, she's so nice.
She's a sweetie. Call her.
Well, here's catch up for Wednesday. It was a great day. We had a nice size for sit and stitch. Lots of different projects, but truly the highlight of the day was there was Fred and Julia who came, and Fred came with Julia to take her quilt class yesterday, and today they were working on the blocks for their quilt, and he was helping her. He was unstitching some blocks or helping her figure out how to sew them, and it was so sweet to see this couple work together to create a quilt. But I will post some of those pictures. I hope G will be able to insert the pictures here, and you'll be able to see a little bit of Fred. He was just a sweetheart. Interestingly enough, there has been a handful, like probably 4 or 5 in the sit and stitch who were cross stitching, and that's such a thrill for me because I love to cross stitch. And it was fun to see everyone's project, and one of the students actually is a fledgling designer of cross stitch, so we might be seeing some of her charts, and one of her charts is going to go to the top of my list. My friend Linda, who was doing the sit and stitch today, gave me this great silicone baster, and this works when you're cross stitching and you're unstitching, like say you're unstitching red thread, and you know how it always leaves a little bit of fuzz on the linen. You just take this little soft silicone brush and you just kind of brush it, and it takes all of that. It looks almost like a dye on your linen, but it's just little threads that get stuck there, and it just brushes them off without hurting your project. So I love that. I also received this absolutely adorable Mary Englebright print, and what I loved about it is the person who gave this to me, Chris, said that it reminded the little girl in this print reminded her of me, which I just ever forward, and so probably a little bit of a reflection there, but isn't that really sweet? I'm going to be hanging this up for sure. We had a bird in our class, which was so funny, and he could whistle the Addams Family tune. And he sat, and every so often he'd decide to serenade, but just sat in his little carrying case, and as long as he could see his mom, he was happy. If she got up to go use the iron, he squawked a little bit. But, you know, it's kind of nice to have a friend in the class. So I'm a little bit tired. A lot of the teachers are starting to get pretty darn tired. You know, these are long days and long evenings, but it's very exciting to see things start to get into the swing of things again, and 2023 is even going to be better than 2022. So stay tuned. We'll give you another update tomorrow. Good evening, Quilt Roadies. Well, it's towards the end of a very long day. It was lovely. Today was day 4 of the Quilters Affair, and I had a class where I shared my knowledge about wool and used Bonnie Sullivan's all through the night, a heart pillow, and everyone in the class loved it. We had beginners and experienced wool aficionados, but it was all, the thing about Quilters Affair and the thing about quilters and wool stitchers is they are willing to share all of their knowledge and to share their tools and laughter, and so we had a fabulous day today. I was blessed because one of my girlfriends brought me a luscious lunch from Bend, and so I enjoyed that out in the sunshine. It was wonderful running into people that I knew from previous years or people that I took my own classes with. So, you know, your heart is filled, as I've been saying every day. It's been a wonderful experience, and I hope that you add it to your bucket list for 2023 or 2024, because I'm sure we're all going to be here. I did receive a lovely card and gift from a girlfriend who I have worked in the past at intaking quilts, Chris, but you have to see this card. It's just so artistic. Quilted Helpers, the Bumblebees. Isn't that beautiful? And she included this, and she explained it to me, and I've seen them before, and I've always wanted to use one, but it is a Swedish sponge cloth. And she said this would be perfect for the van because they dry out so fast. So G and I are going to enjoy that. This evening I was blessed with a visit with my sister and brother-in-law and her friends at the Thai table in Bend, which was fantastic. It was a beautiful drive to Bend and back, and now we're just ready to call it an evening. Yeah, it's still daylight out there, but not for a whole lot longer, maybe another hour. My eyes are tired though, so I want to get a good night's sleep and get ready for the morning, because this is day 5 of the Quilters Affair, and then Saturday is the quilt show itself. Fantastic. So stay tuned tomorrow for the final edition of the Quilters Affair with Quilt Roadies. That's the reason, because you're a nurse, that's the reason that you have the patience to do something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
Yeah, nurses have patience.
That's your trim, but if you do it this way where you don't want any woggles in the middle, you have a little bit of woggle at the bottom, but not too bad. So I would
Well, today is the wrap-up of the Quilters Affair 2022. And I have to say, I am exhausted, but it was a fabulous week. Meeting new friends, old friends, internet friends, it was just, everything was absolutely perfect. Today was my sit and stitch day, so jack of all trades, helping opinions, just carrying on conversations with all of the people working on different projects. And the fun thing about Sit and Stitch on Friday is that usually there's several people that show up with projects that they took a class for earlier in the week, and so they're wanting to make some headway, not leave here and think they've got another UFO, but really make some headway on projects. And it's always fun for me, because not having taken classes all week, but assisting and teaching all week, I like to see what's out there and put it on my dream list. So my friend Chris, who is, and I'll put some information in the drop-down box of some of the links that you might enjoy, but Chris has an Etsy shop, and she flew out from Ohio to enjoy the Quilters Affair and this quilt show. She actually took, she took a tree class with Blue Nickel Studios and Scott Hansen. And she used fall fabrics out of her stash, and I just loved it. So again, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Again, I am putting Scott's tree class on my list. We all love those trees. Other people were working on Sue Spargo stitching, quilting. Our favorite couple, Fred and Julia, who took Jackie Erickson's class, they finished their quilt top, and I'll try to have G insert some photos as we go along, and some of the highlights where I was able to take actual photographs into this video. I did get a few scraps because, you know, you walk around and you look at what everyone's working on and their fabrics, and you just kind of go, I wish I had some of that. So one of the people participating, Susan, gave me this scrap because I just loved it. It's almost like ticking. You know, I liked it. And it's an old Maywood fabric. Maywood Studio fabric. And then one of the other gals was working on her beautiful, beautiful quilt. But the fabric that she had, all I could think about was Hexies. And it's little balloon dogs. Do you see him? Oh, here, he's upside down. Little balloon dogs. So I'm going to put him in the center of a Hexie. My well is filled. I hope that you'll put 2023 on your list, your bucket list, Quilters Affair, and come join us next year. Let's see, what we have coming up is hopefully we'll have some interview for you of some of the instructors if we can organize it. If not, we'll try next time. The quilt show, G has arrived, so he'll be doing some videoing of the quilt show. Naturally, there's about 1,100 quilts, so we won't be able to take video of every single quilt hanging, but we'll get a good amount of them on video. And so over the next few days we'll be releasing those videos, so hang in there, and thank you for coming along on the journey.